Have you ever felt an unexplainable presence just when you thought you were beginning to accept the loss of someone you loved? A soft whisper, a subtle shift in the air, a sign that appears exactly 21 days after their passing? You're not imagining things. What you're sensing may be real. It could be the echo of a portal. Today, we'll speak about something few dare to mention. The invisible portals the soul crosses exactly 21 days after leaving the physical body. This isn't a random number. Since ancient times, mystics, mediums, and healers like Edgar, cayce have pointed to the 21st day as a powerful turning point in the soul's journey. A threshold, a passage, a moment when everything begins to change. In this video, we'll reveal what these portals are, what they mean for the soul, and what they mean for you. Because if you've recently lost someone, or if you've ever wondered what truly happens after death, what you'll discover here may forever shift how you understand the moment of goodbye. Stay with me until the end, because understanding these portals doesn't just honor those who have crossed. It prepares your own soul for the journey it, too, will one day take. On the 21st day, the soul stands before the portal of echoes, a veil of memory suspended between two dimensions. Here, the soul begins to hear the energetic imprints of its earthly life, but not as mere thoughts. These are living echoes, sounds, emotions, and vibrations that rise from the hearts of those still mourning or remembering them. Every whisper of love, every cry of grief, every silent prayer sent from the living reaches this gateway. The soul, in this moment, becomes acutely aware of its lasting presence in the lives of others. It is no longer bound to physical form, but its essence still dances in the memories of those who remain. This portal teaches the soul that nothing, no word, no action, no gesture goes unheard in the realm of spirit. It is a mirror made of sound and sentiment. For the living, this is often the time when signs intensify. Dreams, flickering lights, subtle fragrances that remind you of them. These aren't coincidences. They are resonant echoes, the soul responding from the other side of the portal, letting you know, I hear you. I still feel you. The portal of echoes marks the soul's deepening understanding that connection is not severed by death, only transformed. It is the first step in realizing that love, when true, becomes eternal vibration. As the soul journeys deeper on the 21st day, it reaches the portal of regret and release, a shimmering gate woven from strands of memory and intention. Here, the soul confronts the weight of its unfinished stories, not as punishment, but as clarity. At this portal, the soul sees with unfiltered truth the moments where love was withheld, where fear silenced expression, where time was taken for granted. Regret may rise like mist from a quiet lake, gentle, but impossible to ignore. But this portal is not a prison. It is a passage. The soul is not meant to carry guilt for eternity. Instead, it is offered a sacred moment of surrender. Guides, ancestors, or even those the soul may have hurt in life may appear here, not in anger, but in compassion. Their presence invites the soul to release, to breathe through what cannot be changed, and to open to what still can be healed. In spirit, in this way, the soul begins to unburden itself from the karmic threads it no longer needs to carry forward. For the living, this phase may bring sudden waves of emotion, tears without reason, or a longing to forgive or be forgiven. It is the echo of the soul's encounter with this portal. You may feel them visiting in silence, asking not for apology, but for peace. And if you respond with openness, a strange calm may follow. That is the moment of release. A sacred agreement between worlds. We understand. We let go. We move forward. After the cleansing of regret, the soul arrives at the portal of the living mirror, a luminous pulsating threshold where all illusions are stripped away. This is not a mirror made of glass, but of awareness. The soul sees itself, not as it imagined, but as it truly was and is. Every interaction, every choice, every ripple it sent into the world is reflected back through the lives it touched. But this portal doesn't judge, it reveals. It is here where the soul understands how deeply it shaped others, both in light and shadow, that it sees the quiet kindness that saved someone from despair, the harsh word that lingered in someone's heart. For years, the love it gave unconditionally, and the moments it turned away out of fear. All of it is present, all of it alive. This encounter is overwhelming, not because of punishment, but because of the immense responsibility that comes with spiritual truth. The soul begins to realize that no action is ever lost. Every thought is a seed, every word a thread in the web of collective destiny. For those still living, this portal often manifests as an urge to reevaluate one's life, to speak truth, to express love, to mend broken ties. Why? Because the soul on the other side is radiating that mirror energy back toward us, whispering, "See clearly, live truthfully, choose with love now before your own mirror awaits." This portal is a gift. It teaches that our lives are not just lived, they are witnessed. Forever as the soul steps beyond the mirror, it is drawn toward the portal of ancestral return, a vast, glowing veil laced with the voices of those who came before. Here, the soul feels a pull, not from the earth, but from the lineage it carries. Within the bloodlines, karmic threads, and soul contracts that shaped its earthly path. It is at this threshold that the soul begins to remember, "I did not arrive alone, and I do not leave alone. Ancestors known and unknown gather like silhouettes in radiant mist. Some come as guides, others as echoes, waiting for closure." The soul is shown its place in a long spiritual chain, how inherited wounds, gifts, and choices pass down like sacred patterns. This is not about blame, but understanding. Here, the soul may begin to reconcile with family patterns it resisted in life, or finally embrace the wisdom of those who once seemed distant. In some cases, unresolved energies, generational pain, secrets, or spiritual debts rise gently into awareness, seeking healing. And for the living? Around the 21st day, many report vivid dreams of ancestors, flashes of family memories, or a sudden desire to trace their heritage. These moments are not nostalgia, they are signals. The soul is touching your lineage from the other side, perhaps to ask your help in healing what remains, or to tell you, you are not alone. Your blood remembers. And so do we. This portal awakens the understanding that we are more than individuals. We are continuations. The soul, now reconnected to its ancestral root, carries forward not only its own evolution, but the evolution of all who came before. By the 21st day, the soul has begun to loosen its last ties to linear time. As it steps through the portal of timeless presence, the past, present, and future begin to blur. The soul no longer sees life as a straight line. It sees cycles, patterns, rhythms. At this portal, the soul awakens to the realization that all moments still exist, layered upon one another like echoes in an eternal chamber. Here, the soul can revisit sacred instants, just from its most recent life, but from lives long forgotten. It may experience scenes from a medieval village where it once walked, the heat of a desert where it prayed, the voice of a child it once raised under different stars. It understands, I have been many, and I am still all of them. But even more, it begins to see how its presence remains in the world it just left. Not just in memory, but in energy. A word spoken with love, a gesture that gave hope, a thought that carried kindness. These still live. And the soul watches them ripple forward, like circles spreading across still water. For those on earth, this portal often stirs sudden awakenings, and intuitive memory of something that was never lived in this lifetime, or a mysterious sense that a loved one is still here, not as a ghost, but as a subtle presence woven into the fabric of now. Some feel their touch in moments of silence, or find themselves repeating their words without knowing why. This portal teaches that no soul is ever truly gone. Presence is not bound by flesh. It is eternal, fluid, and waiting to be felt. And when you close your eyes in silence and listen deeply, you may feel them, not in the past, not in the future, but here, now. As the soul progresses through its subtle transformation, it reaches the portal of earthly longing, a gentle but poignant threshold where the pull of the material world still lingers. Though the body is gone, the soul now pauses. In a place between realms, and it feels it, the ache for touch, the scent of rain on the skin, the warmth of shared laughter, the unspoken words left behind. This portal is not one of suffering, it is one of remembrance. Here, the soul is allowed to grieve what was beautiful and fleeting in its human experience. Some souls linger longer at this portal. They look back at loved ones, homes, places of comfort. For a moment, they may hover near familiar spaces, a bedside, a photo, a voice on the wind. Not because they are trapped, but because love still anchors them gently. It is a sacred pause, a final honoring of the life they just lived. And in this space, many souls attempt to send messages. I'm still here. I'm okay. I remember you. Sometimes these messages arrive in dreams, sudden chills, synchronicities, or moments of emotional overwhelm. For the living, this portal can feel like the soul is especially near. On the 21st day, some people report hearing their name spoken. Softly, feeling a loved one's favorite song playing by chance, or even sensing a presence while alone. These are not figments of grief. They are bridges, the soul gently reaching across the veil to offer reassurance. The portal of earthly longing is the soul's way of saying goodbye to form, without saying goodbye to love, because love, it now understands, is the only thing it can take with it. At the end of the 21-day passage, the soul reaches the portal of soul integration, a radiant, all-encompassing threshold where the journey inward and upward meets its first great convergence. Here, the soul begins to merge with its higher self, the eternal essence that has watched across lifetimes, patiently guiding from beyond the veil of form. This portal is not a place, it is a state of becoming. The soul no longer sees itself as the person who just died. It now remembers, I am more than this life. I am the traveler, the witness, the light beneath the name God in this sacred space. The soul reviews not just what it did, but what it became. The lessons, the growth. Brokenness turned to beauty. It integrates the laughter, the tears, the moments of love and failure alike, not as opposites, but as part of a single evolving consciousness. The soul is offered a choice, to remain in the subtle realms for deeper healing, or to prepare for its next path, whether that be service, return, or ascension. For those still living, this is often the point where visits and signs begin to lessen. Not because the soul is gone, but because it is becoming something more closer to source, more radiant, more expanded. Some feel this as a quiet peace settling over them, as if the presence that once felt external has now moved inside. A strange calm, a whisper of closure. The veil thickens again, but the connection remains. The portal of soul integration is the soul's first return to wholeness. It no longer clings to what was. It no longer fears what comes. It simply is. So now you know. The 21st day after death is not just another date on the calendar. It is a spiritual turning point, a hidden doorway in time where the soul journeys through 7 invisible portals that reshape its essence. From the first echo of memory to the final merging with its eternal self, each threshold whispers a truth that transcends fear, that life is not end, it transforms. And perhaps the most powerful lesson is this: as the soul journeys beyond, you journey too. Every dream, every silent tear, every act of remembrance becomes a thread in the bridge between worlds. You are not left behind. You are part of the unfolding. Your love reaches across veils, and the soul feels it dot. So now that you've glimpsed these portals, how will you honor the soul who crossed them? How will you listen, feel, or remember differently? And how will you begin to prepare your own soul, not in fear, but in reverence for the moment when you too will walk through gates of light? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever sensed the presence of a loved one in the days or weeks after their passing? What signs appeared? What dreams spoke? And if this message resonated, I invite you to stay close. Because here, in this space, we walk the soul's path together, one revelation at a time.